You can read that whole article over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to college basketball. After the huge 94-84 win on the road over number 7 Purdue, the Badgers moved up 5 spots to number 11 in the AP poll. They're back in action tomorrow night as they host Illinois. Tip-off for that one is at 7:30. Also for the Wisconsin Badgers, guard John Tonje was named the Naismith Player of the Week, as well as the Big Ten Player of the Week, after he scored 32 points in that upset over Purdue. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I'm going to match your energy, and if you're going to bring false titles, I'll bring false titles.
They're not false. Your
They're
6 are real.
Hell.
My 4 are real.
But they're old as hell.
So you can tell Rutledge that. That is absolutely ridiculous. Amen.
Because I'm here for whatever. If you get food poisoning from a place, do you go back?
Like for more food?
No, if you go back ever. Like like you get a bad burger from a place.
And give them a second chance?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly, and I am finally back in the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge. Molly Brown's still out with babies. I wish I was home today. It is ungodly cold outside, but I made my way in. I am back. I'm feeling better. You can see me on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream alongside Alex G. and Chrissy Birdsall with me in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I do have the power, and it's different doing a radio show in an office chair in the studio as opposed to in a lounge chair in your bedroom. Primetime will shine behind the glass. What? Huh?
At what age do you get a like lounge chair in the bedroom? Because Prime, you don't have one of those, do you?
No, that's why I said, what? Huh? Lounge chairs in your bedroom?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a chair.
I guess that's only something I've ever thought of, like a parent having.
But
like my parents had that in their room.
Here's the thing. It's just space, man. Like,
that's what it is.
I just don't have I just can't have a big open area in the bed.
See, that's the difference. Is that you're a parent, you're a dad who's in the master
it's
bedroom.
It's a homeowner. Right. Yeah,
we've only ever lived in the child's bedrooms.
Or I've had the master bed in one of the apartments that I've lived in, but that was where my desk went because I had to work from home at times.
Right, and like if you live in an apartment, you need to fit more of your furniture in your own personal space. That's actually really clutch. And I've had that once or twice too. In this case, I mean, you got a dresser, you got the vanity with the dresser as well. You got a walk-in closet, you got another closet, and then you
just keep flexing on me, okay?
And then it's just this open space.
Prime, you got a roommate?
Nah, I've just got a roommate.
No?
You can live in the other half of Jim Rutledge's bedroom.
I know. I was like, this is nuts. I've got a roommate. I've got my bedroom. He's got his bedroom, and we share like a communal, I guess, living room that neither of us really use.
There's an entire.
You guys sound so close.
He's a good dude.
Sounds like it. Sound close. Yeah, there's an entire room dedicated to Barbies. We need 3 bedrooms. There are 4 bedrooms in the house, so that is the Barbie room, plus a finished basement that right now the kids just use as a big playroom. That at some point will probably be turned into some sort of bedroom sort of space.
Kids take up space. That's fair. I don't have to share my space with kids.
That is true. So you need space in this world. Badger basketball, big victory. And I think people are losing their mind over Badger basketball, Alex G. I think it's because nothing's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, so you watched the NBA draft last night. I watched the SNL
All-Star
50.
game.
I'm sorry, All-Star game last night. I watched the SNL 50 last night. And I enjoyed what I watched. I have no regrets not watching the NBA All-Star game. And I like the NBA, but the All-Star game, I'm going to go ahead and blame LeBron James. I think it is his fault.
Judgmental Jim.
The NBA All-Star Game has not been significant, like culturally relevant, since I feel like LeBron James.
Okay, so I've watched probably 3 or 4 All-Star games in my life. This was the most recent. I like the change. I think it's a little different. I think it's cool. But when do you think the All-Star Game became a joke in the NBA? Like about what year-ish, for my sake?
So I'm pulling this out right here, and
When was LeBron drafted? 2003? There you go.
Thank you.
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know the exact date or time of it, but somewhere along the way, because for a long time there, like Magic Johnson made his return to basketball with that. Michael Jordan was trying. It was part of like a trifecta, like, hey, win the regular season MVP, win the All-Star Game MVP, win the NBA Finals MVP, do it all. Be a winner, win all the things, be the best of the best. And the All-Star Game, which is weird to say now, like carried some weight. It mattered. There was a competitiveness of like win everything. And I'm not sure the exact time that died out. Because I remember Kobe bringing it at times in All-Star Games. So that's why some might try to blame that Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady era of there was kind of just a laissez-faire attitude. But Jordan was still around and Kobe was around, and they kind of locked that back in. But I joke with the LeBron thing, but not really. The Olympic team had problems when LeBron was the guy. They had to bring Kobe in.
Yeah.
Remember? They had to bring Kobe in to be
Absolutely.
like, hey, we actually need to win. We need someone who actually needs to show people what it means to give a crap about something about winning it and not just playing basketball. And Kobe had to come in and do it. And so LeBron wasn't like the death knell of it. But I think somewhere in that we're all buddies. We're all going to end up on the same team. The dream, the later dream teams, it pulled a thread. And then that thread was pulled, and now the competitiveness has left the NBA All-Star Game.
I think there's a lot of fairness to that, and I also think that you look at it and you say, oh, well, the NFL is not trying that hard. It went from the wrap-up games and whatnot to now just flag football to now it's, absolutely unwatchable. I mean, watching your favorite players do cool things is cool, and I think that the fact that you have this three-point contest and the dunk contest, those are both good for, the game. I think that the Rising Stars absolutely were the most impactful part of this opportunity, the way that they played it, because they went out and they pushed the old-timers, and the old-timers were like, okay, damn, we have to actually play, and they actually played. It looked really good, and then they were locked in, a little bit more fired up and ready to go when it came time to play in the championship game or whatever.
Let's go.
But it was absolutely horrendous to watch as they were up, I think, 11-0 to start the game.
It's devolved as far as meaning. Again, just kind of pulling out a Reddit thing here. People are saying 2017, right in that range, 2016, 2017. What happened was at some point it started going to, hey, we're just going to kind of screw around for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter we'll just keep it close enough, and then we'll try in the fourth quarter. And then at some point, they just screwed around the whole time. Somewhere in there, it was just decided that they're not going to care about the game anymore. And the second that was decided was the second the lore of it faded away. Because it was a big deal for a while to win the NBA All-Star Game MVP.
I mean, I hate to say it, but, like, you can blame LeBron all you want. I think Steph Curry, honestly, has a bigger deal because Steph Curry's like, okay, I can take this shot from, an extra 5 feet away in game. So in this game that doesn't really matter, I'm going to take it from half court and see what happens. And it looks really cool when it works, and he's so good. But like now, you don't have Giannis who can do anything. Obviously, he didn't play last night.
Giannis, that's a good point.
Exactly. And you can't, like, the bigs are pretty much useless at a certain point because there's no physicality because they're just throwing it up. The defense, like, close to the rim, absolutely useless. And so there's no physicality. There's way less excitement on the outside because at any point, someone could just pull up and take a dumb shot.
TJ from the Road chimes in, NBA All-Star Game is trash now. Players mailing it in. Again, I wouldn't put it on Steph. It was a mentality. People stopped caring about winning the game. And Steph is...
He won MVP last night.
Yeah, but he's a winner. Like, he's a guy who has...
He's also the hometown guy.
But he's all... Right, but I just mean... I'm talking about this just in general. His... Like the Evan Cohen... We talked about on Sportsman, like when you think of a great player, yes, you probably think of shooter with Steph, but I think of winner with Steph. He brought people to his team. He was willing to take a step back. Yeah, bringing KD. Not only just saying he'll just take a step back, actually took a step back. That Warriors team with Steve Kerr, that old Bulls mentality to triangle offense, and whatever they had with Jordan on the Bulls brought that to the Warriors, where everyone was willing to be together to go win. And that's that Warriors team. That was a team of, yes, really talented players, but they won like multiple times in a row, which is LeBron hasn't done, and having this string and domination. But there was just I joke about LeBron. It's not specifically on him, but I think
his era,
his laissez-faire attitude, the All-Star game, then butt off to the younger players' attitude, like AAU basketball.
Because, you don't want to show up on your first All-Star game and be like, oh, I'm with LeBron James. I'm going to try so hard. And he's like, dude, that's not cool. That'll ruin it for you.
There was a video of Kobe Bryant just dogging LeBron James and LeBron getting mad at the NBA All-Star game. And he blocked multiple shots, cut him off trying to go to the rim a few times. Like,
heck yeah.
Honestly, the retirement of Kobe Bryant probably killed the NBA All-Star game.
I mean, I believe that because Kobe has the same mentality that, Coach Alvarez had. We were talking about it on the Great Dane Huddle last Monday night. He said, he said the rule when he was there was you don't lose anything. And that was not just the games. That was not just the practices. When they went to the bowl games, he was like, we would go have eating contests against the other team, and I'd be damned if we were going to lose that. And for a long time, there's a steakhouse in the Pasadena area where they'd have it, and they stopped allowing this to happen.
Lowry's Beef Bowl is what you're talking about.
Yes, because they would run out of food. Like, they would be eaten out of house and
Alex
home.
is telling, and he's telling our listeners there, but all the stories Alex is telling me, having done the show with Tarek and Derek forever, I've heard those stories 700 times.
Yes, but our fans haven't.
I know, but that's why I was able to tell Ryan I knew exactly what the place he's talking about with Lowry's, the Lowry Beef Bowl, because of the steakhouse, and they had to win
and you
everything.
have to win the eating contest.
Yeah, you have to win everything.
Wait, at the eating contest, what were they eating?
Steaks, like
Just
giant
steaks.
T-bone steaks.
Just downing steaks?
Just picture like Great Outdoors where he tries to eat the 96-ouncer.
I think Tarek said he had three like 24-ounce T-bones.
Oh, my God.
Nuts.
Wait, 3 24-ounce T-bones. So, wait, that's 72. That's 6 pounds?
I don't know.
Wait, no, 16 ounces.
I also don't know how much you could believe what he says, but they were eating, feasting, and winning.
God, that motel that they stayed at, that bathroom must have just been... oh, my goodness. It must have been like the train that Jim took to the Rose Bowl.
Have you ever... Whoa. I'm missing this story. What?
So I famously... And this was actually when I was hosting the show with Tarek and Derek, took a train to the Rose Bowl and caught food poisoning on said train.
Oof. Is train food the same quality as airline food?
I don't even know if I ate on the train. I got sick at a spot in New Mexico at a pizza place. They let you off the train. You could be out for a few hours. So I went to Google best pizza place, whatever. Got the pizza. And they got sick. It could have been the flu. I don't know. I just know I looked gaunt when I finally showed up to the Rose Bowl. Thank God I was able to make it to the Rose Bowl. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it home. Just resetting the story for anyone, just since we're touching on it. I had to then, with food poisoning, get from the train station in Los Angeles to a car rental to the hotel.
Not good. Dangerous game.
How I did any of this is beyond me. The second I got to the hotel, I flung open the door and ran to the bathroom, threw open the toilet seat to throw up, and hit myself in the face because I was going so fast to do it, and then threw up. And
this wasn't like a nice hotel, was it?
That was a nice place.
Okay.
Good
that
karma
feels
hooked me
a
up.
little better.
Yeah, no, good karma had me set up nice. So it was not enjoyable though.
Well, we're talking about eating contests. I've won one. Prime, have you ever participated in an eating contest?
What kind of question is that to ask a normal person? An eating contest?
Yes.
Wait, like organized or with unofficially?
Okay, it was not an eating event that I won it at, but it was part of the night.
Were the referees? Was it organized enough where you had actual officials?
All right. So here's the thing. Okay. I was going to an ultimate frisbee tournament in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. This was an absolute train wreck of a tournament. I had a buddy who tore an ACL. That was really sad. Anyway, he participated in the eating contest. It was a relay race, and the contest was called Corny Classic. And so all of the food was corn. There was cornbread, canned corn, candy corn, and corn chips and corn salsa that had progressively more spice. Which we won handily, but I ate the driest cornbread I ever had. I thought the cornbread was going to be a good choice because I was like, oh, I love cornbread. It tastes delicious. It was like real low quality boxed stuff, and I was swallowing it like as much as I could at once. And I ended up, I like couldn't talk the next day because my throat had been so scratched and swollen up. It was brutal.
Anyways, all right, Badger basketball had a big win on Saturday, and they beat Purdue, and I think that's people losing their mind. I want to get to that. Matt Norlander of CBS said that this is the Badger team that is the best team for the Wisconsin Badgers since the 2015 national runner-up.
They got 58 points in the second half, did Wisconsin on the road. And as I mentioned in the highlight, 20 of 22 from the field. Jack Janicki, it's not that he wasn't on Purdue's scouting report. I'm sure that he was. I promise you, he was not option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. And he comes off the bench and he gets 11 points. We are seeing a Wisconsin team that's the best one since the likes of Decker and Kaminsky were on campus and they made the national title game. That was the last time a Wisconsin team was this good and certainly this offensively capable. This is finally the result that Wisconsin fans have been waiting on to make everyone start sitting up and paying attention to what's possible and what's going down in Madison.
All right, that's Matt Norlander of CBS. That was the 2014-15 Badgers that went 36-4 and lost in the national tournament final with Bull Ryan. Bull Ryan's final season, full season as a head coach. So maybe I'll give you the offensive side of things here, but I think we're just losing our minds a little bit, and I don't want to tear down this team.
I'm a nut.
But I do want to ask the question, our siding limited poll question, is this Badger basketball team the best basketball team that Greg Gard has coached? Since 2000, that's the Greg Gard era. We can ask it specifically since 2015, that season. But basically, we're asking you, is this the best Badger basketball team that Greg Gard has been the head coach of? 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talk and text line. Less is more. Record-wise, this team is 20-5. Record-wise, you'd put the 21-22 Badgers. They were 25-8. You'd put them in the mix there. You'd maybe put the last year's Badgers 22-14 in the mix there. And then you have the, 18-19 Badgers at 23-11. And then the answer. So Greg Gard's coached a half a season. Bo Ryan went 7-5. Greg Gard won 15-8. That team won 22 games. The best Badger basketball team since they won or got to the national title game was 2016-17. That team was 27-10. They lost the regional semifinal. They were an 8th seed. But they were second in the Big Ten. They had Shoei, Vito Brown, Khalil Iverson, Nigel Hayes, Bronson King, and Ethan Happ. That team would smoke this team. But this team could be the second best team in the Greg Gard era. I'll listen to that because my general stance is any team that featured Brad Davison in any sort of real role was not.
I know that's a good. I like that take, right? Because Brad Davidson was just that kind of guy who stuck around. He wasn't good enough to do anything massive, but he was kind of this cult classic, cult favorite, whatever you want to call it. This team is pretty good. John Tonje can do things that I don't remember. Like Chucky Hepburn can't hang with John Tonje, I don't think. Right? Like Tonje's a more complete player. He can score more. There's a lot good, and Chucky's having a great season out at. Where is he? He's in Louisville, yeah.
I think more than anything, John Blackwell's more of the Chucky replacement. John Tonje's kind of filling the role of what A.J. Storr was for the team last year.
Right. And
Johnny Davis before that.
Before that, yeah.
And then you got Nolan Winter, who's doing really well, too. So I think that this team is very complete and is going to be really good. I think at the end of the season, should they make the Sweet 16, you have a really strong argument to make that it is at least as good as any team Bo Ryan's ever coached.
Greg Gard,
yes.
Yeah, it's not as good as team Bo Ryan's ever coached.
Yeah,
but I will go with this. Just the Brad Davison era. They missed the tournament twice. Not one of them was because of COVID. So they at least still missed tournaments
they won
once.
The national championship that year.
So they won 15. It's the worst era of Badger basketball in recent memory. 15-18, 23-11, 21-10, 18-13. And I believe he was on the 21-22 team that went 25-8, led by Johnny Davis. But they lost in the second round during that. Usually they not made Sweet 16. So it was either highlighted by not winning 20 games, missing the NCAA tournament, and so again, not winning 20 games almost never happens for Badger basketball. Happened twice in the Brad Davison era. They missed the tournament, which never happens in the Badger basketball era. They missed it with Brad Davison, and they never got to the Sweet 16 with him. So it was honestly, it's a high bar, but worst run in Badger basketball recent history the Brad Davison era.
What did Brad do to you?
Nothing. I just want to be very clear because here's the thing with Brad
You
Davison.
don't think he should be a starter on a quality team?
He was the poster child for what was looking like the downfall of Badger basketball. Now, over the last few years with Johnny Davis and Blackwell and AJ Storr and Tanjay now, like this team has turned. And now, and Chucky Hepburn and obviously Nolan Winter, and there's good players on these teams. Like the fate of the team has turned, and now we're back to having a team that actually can do something. When Brad was this is my whole stance. Brad Davison isn't in the 10-man rotation for the 14-15 Badgers.
No.
Like he's not making the team.
No.
Now we're talking this year's team. Tanjay's making the team. Blackwell's making the team. That might be it. Winter's pretty young. Kroll's not making the team. So, like, Carter
Gilmore's making the team.
Get out of here. All right, so, like, he's riding along, carrying around the balls with Brad Davison, all right? And Carter Gilmore's a nice story.
You know who has more three-pointers this season than AJ Storr?
You know what?
Carter Gilmore.
You know what's fun? And honestly, Carter Gilmore's fun because that's who Brad Davison should have been. Like, a guy who was a neat story.
Yeah, but Brad Davison...
show he's a better basketball player than Davison.
Like, we got to have a villain era. We got to go out there and have, like, a guy that people hated. And don't get me wrong, like, I would have liked for the Badgers to be better through that stretch, but kind of fun to just have a dude who, like, you know, as other teams see them coming, they're like, oh, we got to play this guy.
Good villain. He was like a... it was the...
Discount Grayson Allen?
Yeah. That guy's a jerk and a dirty player.
Roundies?
Like, you don't want that guy on your team.
He wasn't as dirty as Grayson.
Great. What a great bar to cross
No,
there.
it is his fault that Kamari McGee got thrown out on Saturday.
Yeah, give context to that.
So Kamari McGee trying to move around an illegal moving screen, I believe sometime midway through the first half. And he's moving around and, you know, he kind of got his arm caught up in the illegal screeners, you know, lower midsection area.
It wasn't clearly an accident.
It wasn't.
It probably was an accident.
I think it was more so the movement and the running motion and that his arm was in was very similar to a punching motion. Don't get me wrong. It could very easily be mistaken for that, but I think it was more incidental as an accident more than anything. But I think if it was not for the sins of Brad Davison and being seen wearing that same Wisconsin jersey, especially for a point guard or on the three-point line, which was Brad Davison's like go-to move of like, oh, sorry to bump you there, and you know, along the way in the subway. That was a Brad Davison move through and through, and he got vilified for it.
And we can talk about the Kamari McGee, because Greg Gard didn't even seem that upset by it after the game, and I like his reasoning for it. We'll get to that in a minute. Jake from the East Side says, bro, put some respect on Brad's name. Extremely disrespectful. Look, man, I'm just giving you facts.
Dog.
It was the worst era as far as winning in Badger basketball recent memory.
Since I've been alive.
So, and how old are you?
27.
And that's what I said at the time. Nice player, but because he was the representative best player on the team wasn't good. It's not his fault, but I'm also not going to make a statue or crown his ass.
No, you shouldn't.
And then Johnny chimes in, big fan of the show. Jim is the Brad Davison of the show. How dare you?
That's exactly what you needed to
say.
say.
And bringing no good content. So Johnny and I agree. Brad Davison stinks. All right.
Thank you.
Carbon World Health, they don't stink. I was actually there today. They're raising money for the American Heart Association. If you go there and donate $100, you can pop a balloon, and then you have an opportunity to win some prizes. So I went over there today, picked up some more GLP-1, some semaglutide, and I popped the balloon. I donated the $100 to their cause to pop a balloon and raise money for the American Heart Association. So you can do that at Carbon World Health, obviously led by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, and obviously heart health is important to him. It's important to all of us, and you can keep healthy by just going to work out at Carbon World Health. Ask them about semaglutide, hormone optimization, the cryotherapy, red light therapy, all available at Carbon World Health. Go to carbonworldhealth.com to learn more. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, confidence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for just playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar studio. The locals are restless with me. I guess they didn't realize I am not a Brad Davison fan. Hey, Brad Davison, a career 38% from the field guy. Whopping 34% from the field in 2021. That was great. Career 35% three-point shooter. It's not Brad's fault. He just, again, is the poster child for an era that was not where it wanted to be. He's Alex G. I am Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar studio. Primetime Warshon behind the glass as well. We are talking about Badger basketball here, and the Siding Limited poll question we are asking you, is this the best Badger basketball team since 2000? The 14-15 Badgers, the national championship team. Basically, is this the best basketball team Greg Gard's ever coached? It's a simple way to ask it. 844-770-3776 on the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. I say absolutely not. I will go with the 16-17 team, just with the sheer amount of talent of Shoei, Vito Brown, Khalil Iverson, Nigel Hayes, Bronson Koenig, Ethan Happ. Don't forget that Ethan Happ was basically he was practicing with that 14-15 team, so he got to be around that championship-level team. Bronson Koenig was a member of that team, a key member, I thought. Nigel Hayes also played on there. So, those are 3 guys with some some residue
It's
from
certainly
that
the
team
best,
that got to the national championship game.
Certainly the best team he's put together. I mean, Tanjay through the draft or the portal, Blackwell through the portal. This is a fine team that he's put together, and it's like, talented top to bottom. How much of that is that there's a revision of what recruiting looks like? I don't know, but it seems to be working for him.
This might be the second best team. If you want to,
I think this could be. This has the opportunity to be the most successful Wisconsin team under Gard.
What's the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me?
Yeah.
How many times are we getting fooled here? We've had this conversation. This could be the team with AJ Storr. This could be the team with Johnny Davis. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not having that conversation. Maybe, but there's also going to be another team that craps out in a tournament. So you're right. It could happen, but we thought it could happen last year. We thought it could happen with Johnny Davis. I'm not falling into that game anymore.
So how does this team earn that spot in your heart?
Get somewhere. You're saying possibly they've failed more often than not in the tournament. You got to go somewhere.
But the team has the talent. We don't know what's going to happen yet.
But I'm not saying that they have to actually do it before I start the conversation. Okay. I'm not having the debate. I'm not having the conversation until they get to the Sweet 16.
Okay, because I think if they make it to, even if they lose to a really hot team in the second round and they have fewer wins, I think that this could be just as successful, period, as the team against the 2016-17 team that he coached. And he put it together, which makes it just as interesting.
So if you want to tell me this is the best team that he's put together, fine. But that team is better. That team would win. That team would beat the snot. Ethan Happ is really tough. A great NBA player if he could jump. All right, let's get to Greg Gard.
They had no choice when there's and I haven't seen the video. I didn't look at it at halftime. I didn't even look at the board or anything. I was having more conversations about what had happened the previous possession on the other end when I felt our guys were like bowling pins, falling down and getting knocked around. But other than it's within the rules, and this is a really hard game for any crew. That's why we had a really strong crew on this game. This is, you imagine that that's a hard job to do, and but I felt when they gave me the explanation, that's the letter of the law. That's not up for debate. So we needed to move on and keep playing. That was the biggest thing. We had a lot of basketball left to play. We didn't need to dwell on that. So, next guy rally up and let's go.
That's a great guy talking about the Kamari McGee getting tossed out of the game. And I love his answer. It's the right answer. Was it a dumb call? It's a dumb rule. I don't think it was a dumb call, unfortunately. And the thing that bothers me is that, and actually Steve the Homer True, calls Marquette Games, had pointed out too that you can't figure out intent, so you can't guess at it. So that has no bearings if this is going to be a flagrant 1 or 2. And you're right. Prime's joke about Brad Davison being part of the issue with this, I think Brad is part of why this rule is in place. If you're going to bring the elbow or hand into that region on accident or again, you can't figure out intent. If it goes there, as Greg Gard said, pretty simple letter of the law. Now, is it a bummer? Was Kamari McGee trying to do anything? Should he have been tossed? No. But under the letter of the law, I think you kind of have to look at it in that scenario. 844-770-3776. We are asking you our Siding Unlimited poll question. Is this Badger basketball team the best Badger basketball team since the 2015 national runner-up? Right now, 71% of you say yes. I think 16 to 17 has a fair bone to pick with this group here. We also have Dan and Stoughton chiming in. Don't forget about the COVID year when the Badgers won the whole thing.
Let's go.
Timothy.
Let's go.
JB from the V. I'm confused. Do people actually think Brad Davison was good? If the Badgers would have actually been a good team, he wouldn't have made the team. And that's my point.
Is this going to become the Brad Davison just like I think that it's a really good, point of conversation, but
Jim cannot talk about the Greg Gard era without bringing up Brad Davison. It is his number one villain enemy.
I'm so happy
in the city of Madison.
That's the evolution of the Greg Gard era. To me, that was the low point of the Greg Gard era. He has turned it now. He has legitimately good basketball players. He's churned over this roster many times since then, And the tournament gripe is a real gripe, but the roster building gripe, to me, is set aside. He is put together now with basically Davis into AJ. This wasn't exact, but Davis into Store, into Tanjay and Blackwell. Like, he's churning it out. He's adjusted the way he has coached.
Brought in Kirk Penny.
Krabenhoff has been around. I love having the former players around. Sharif Chambliss, who was part of the jump around the other day, also a great addition. So Craig Gard is coaching the right way. He's getting the right players. He's adapting the best he can with how the Badgers can pay players in this era. But it doesn't change that Brad Davison was also the poster child for the worst one in Badger basketball history. Ty and Sun Prairie
Not
chimes
in Badger basketball history, but in my lifetime.
My lifetime, too. Ty and Sun Prairie chimes in. I don't often agree with Jim, but here I do. This team has everything it needs to go deep. So did a lot of previous other teams, and they didn't. I only hope I have time by this time next season. I only hope this team can score and actually make their free throws in the end there. So, Ty and Sun Prairie, thank you for agreeing with me. I just want to see it from here. So you're right, Alex, but I'm done getting fooled. I hope they make a run.
Okay.
But like last year's
team. So
you're
guarding your heart. Your heart is out there. You've put it out there. And you're hurting. You're feeling it.
Nice
and you got to open yourself up to allowing it. Like, you're going to be so much more excited if you believe this team can do it and if they do it.
No, I will not be more excited. I'll be more excited if they prove my black heart wrong. So I want, for an example here, I do feel better about this year's team than last year's team. When the tournament came out, who did they lose to? Immediately, as soon as I read the scouting report on the team they were playing in the first round, I said, this is a loss.
St. Mary's or whatever?
No.
Grand Canyon.
No, you're just listing off absolutely wrong teams. You're actually confusing me. I had it for a second, but now you threw me off. James Madison. Thank you, Chris.
Madison.
Just say it on the air
James
next
Madison,
time.
if we all recall, not only ate their lunch, they punched them in the face, took their lunch, and the Badgers cried to the refs about it instead of played basketball.
And
that team played soft, and that team got bullied out of the gym.
It's not your fault.
If the Badgers had a matchup with a similar team, I would not think that would be a problem.
This year?
This year. So that is a difference between last year's team and this year's team. I don't know what it is. It's just a vibe watching them. They do not feel like you could go take their lunch and they'd go cry to mommy. Like, this seems like they're going to grab their lunch back.
Yes, and the thing is, this team has multiple people who can go out and make a difference in the game. Whereas last year, I mean, it was Chucky making a not high stall count. Sorry, I'm talking about Frisbee again. Making a low in the shot clock 3 or missing it, and now all of a sudden the entire team's on their heels. They've multiple games where they're possessions in a row where they're not scoring. Those sort of things aren't happening with this team because they have multiple ways to score. They can score a lot, and they do score a lot. There's a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this team. And as I look down the stretch, right, Illinois, that's a good team. I still hope the Badgers can go and win. Oregon, not the team that we all thought they were. Washington should be a win. Michigan State is the next big test, and that is a game that I'm really excited about because the Badgers' losses have come to fringe top 25 teams. And while Michigan State, clearly 14th, they're a good team, I want to see what they can do against that.
Yeah, and Illinois should be a good test.
Yep.
Because Illinois is one of those teams that if they get hot at the wrong time, it could be fits for the Badgers in the tournament because Illinois has got a projected top 10 pick, maybe top 5 pick, and then they also have another first rounder on their team and a high-level transfer from Arizona on the team. So that team is loaded to bear with talent. I just don't think they have the coaching to match the talent. But when you have that much talent, you can get hot for a singular game. Win or lose to Illinois, it's not the end of the world. But that's the type of team that scares me in the tournament. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you a little more about Metcalf's Market and why it's my favorite place to shop for groceries here in the Madison area. Metcalf's Market is your place to shop for all the essentials from meat and cheeses, an extensive selection of spirits and beers, and their knowledgeable team knows the perfect pairings to wow your guests with their amazing Piedmontese steaks. Exclusive to Metcalf's Markets, only in Wisconsin. Stop by their locations at Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa today. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Jocelyn Brabender from Wisconsin Heights High School. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be able to do this.
You're a Mesa Maney resident? What's it like the two communities into one, Black Earth and Mazo, at Wisconsin Heights?
I think it's very nice just having two small communities coming together, just knowing everybody and being very close.
Who's had the biggest influence on you as a student?
My friends have been a big influence, just like pushing me to be me. And I think my basketball coach, Mr. Fuchs, has influenced me. He's honestly made me better as a basketball player. He's pushed me, he talks to me. He knows I get frustrated very easily. And I think he's just made me into a better basketball player and person.
Food's here at Quick Trip, and it's ready when you are. Hungry and on the go? How about a corn dog? Crispy, golden cornmeal batter coating around a juicy hot dog. So delicious. Craving pizza? Quick Trip's Pothole Pizza is just what you need. Thin, crispy crust and a savory sauce, piled high with a blend of cheese. Food's here. Fuel up at your one-stop shop for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get your Pop-A-Shot on and compete to be the Bud Light Mini Hoops Mania champion. Hey, it's Ben Brust inviting you to Bud Light's Mini Hoops Mania in Madison. A trip to Vegas during the best time of the basketball year is on the line. On February 22nd, head to the College Club from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. or Red Rock from 10 to 11 p.m. to compete in the first round of Mini Hoops Mania. Go all the way and have a chance to win $10,000 in Vegas. It's Bud Light's Mini Hoops Mania. Must be 21 years or older to play. Also enjoy responsibly at Wando's and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
At Metro Ford of Madison, we're making it easier than ever to find the Ford of your dreams. Check out this month's unbeatable offers, like the 2024 Ford F-150 with 3.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $60.86 cost per thousand. Or drive off in the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $15.97 cost per thousand. Hurry, these offers end February 28th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison today or visit metrofordofmadison.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
No, I think that team had depth. Like Trey Jackson gets hurt, you bring Bronson Koenig shines. Douye Dukin can come off the bench and hit shots for you. This team has some of that, but that team had 2 first-round draft picks in Kaminsky and Decker. I don't know that there's a first-round draft pick on this team.
And that was Matt LePay on Wildy and Tausch. He knows that at least going into this draft, there's not a first-round draft pick on this team. I don't know what Blackwell becomes. I don't know what Nolan Winter develops into. Kroll's not that guy. Klesman, no. Tanjay, we were talking about during the break. Alex G, Jim Rutledge with you, Chrissy Birdsall on the Everlight Solar Studio. He's not even a mock draft for the top 2 rounds. It's again, they're different sports. This time we talked about this before.
Yeah.
The NBA and college basketball. And that's actually my biggest lament is that college basketball, having a pro on your team meant more, and that was fun to see Carmelo Anthony or Stevie Francis carry a team, have some of these moments where you saw the Kemba Walker, you saw these players who were like, okay, maybe Kemba Walker, you're watching and you think, oh, this guy's the best player in college basketball. All right, he's mid-first round pick. That's fine. Now it's like John Tonje. Look at him. He's tearing apart Purdue. He's scoring points at will. Looks like maybe an All-American. One of the top players in the Big Ten. NBA, no thank you.
It's because he's fifth year in the league?
But there's more. I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Yes.
I'm sure there's athletic. I mean, there's so much. I guess it probably speaks to the scouting because there's so much more. Like, there was plenty of guys like Christian Leighton who was picked high and was trash in the league. Like, now I think there's just a lot you can kind of see in the advanced scouting of these players.
I would also say part of it, he's too old for the NBA.
Yes,
he's 23.
It really is.
You're not a draft prospect
but like
anymore.
Malcolm Brogdon was kind of picked. Like, usually a second. Sometimes teams take a fly in a second rounder. Be like, okay, whatever. This guy could help us play.
So the one thing I would say Tonje has going for him is that he didn't play a ton for 2 or 3 years because of COVID, and then because he suffered some injuries, and he only played 8 games last year at Missouri. So maybe as the season goes on, he becomes more on the NBA radar, and you see him in those second round mocks.
Yep.
But I think as of right now, he's not. I think he's only about 6'3", 6'4". I mean, he's explosive. He obviously has no difficulty attacking the rim. He doesn't finish it always there, but he's willing to push the pressure there. I mean, I'm not going to say Russell Westbrook, but the same way attacking the rim, where he wants to put pressure on the defender and just draw a foul. And he's a great free throw shooter, too.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, right now, college basketball is it does have an effect, right? But it's hardly affecting how people look at these prospects, right? Con Knipple, the Wisconsin guy who's currently at Duke, he is actively losing his spot on the roster. He's a great player still, don't get me wrong, but he's not looking like a top 10 player in college basketball, and he's still projected on ESPN right now to be the 6th overall pick. I know you were seeing 10, 11 in that range. I mean, we're talking a first-round pick for a guy who just happened to be awesome through high school and now in college is struggling to figure it out a little bit, whereas John Tonje has spent his college career figuring it out and is now averaging 19.2 points per game, and he's not even on the radar.
So Con Knipple averaging 13, 4, and 3. And it's just they all play different styles. It's different. And it's the projection here. He's 6'7". Yeah. And he is 18, 19 years old, scoring 13 points a game at Duke. And so the teams look at that and say, all right, he's got the height. He's got the athleticism. He's already putting up points in a tough conference. Putting up those points at Duke is hard because there are 2 other lottery picks on the Duke team.
True.
So that's how the NBA looks at it. And the NBA now seems to be more willing to develop players. 844-770-3776 is Jim, Matt, and Molly. That's the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. Our citing limited poll question, is this the best Badger basketball team that Greg Gard has coached? That would be basically since they went to the national title game in the 14-15 season. He did coach. He basically split the season. He coached about 60% of the season the following year after Bo Ryan retired in season. JB from the V says, it's a good team. Bottom line, though, this team isn't as good as Benny Brust's team, and we didn't win it that year, so probably not going to win it all this year.
Jim Rutledge, he's fake tough.
He said Benny Brust.
Okay, I was like, I'm on riding or dying because I agree with Matt LePay, who we heard on the way in. He's saying it very nicely, but this team, it's a nice team. We just have to put in. We'll put in a nice perspective. Put perspective and put respect on the name of that team, because that team that got to the national title game that almost won the title was one of the best teams ever not to win a national title.
Sure,
and that team was incredibly talented and incredibly deep. And honestly, a team that we're probably not going to see again, because those guys were at one school for the entirety of their career. They developed at their school. I remember having conversations about Sam Decker. Is he overrated or is he underperforming? He finished his career, I think, exactly where Badger fans would have thought his career would have finished when he got here. It took him a while to get there, but he got there. Frank Kaminsky was a nobody who turns into National Player of the Year. And then you had obviously, Bruss wasn't on the actual final team there, but you had this team just loaded up. Bronson Koenig, all these other players that were key contributors, players who helped this team play winning basketball that were at Wisconsin their entire career. And some of those guys hung through with Nigel Hayes and a few others, but those guys kept it going. They had a standard of excellence that was handed down to them, that was handed down to the people that handed it down to them, and then it was maintained for a little bit until Brad Davison got here. So,
judgmental Jim.
But that run right there was that team. I don't know if we're ever going to see a team like that in college basketball ever again. That's just my general thing. If you're looking for a great time to sit back and reminisce and think about that team, you can go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. I guarantee Lee or Kevin, the bartender, would love to talk to you about that 14-15 team and how loaded for bear that team was. While you're there, get a Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. You can go to the Horseshoe Bar, get yourself an old-fashioned, have yourself a steak over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. John Tonji, a game-high 32 points in Wisconsin's 94-84 win at number 7 Purdue. His postgame words citing teamwork made the dream work. Audio courtesy CBS Sports.
We're just trying to make a play, for our teammates. I want to give a shout out to all my guys, from the top to bottom. And Kamari McGee got ejected, and that's my brother. And we wanted to get it. We told him in the locker room at halftime, we're going to get this win for you. And we came out here and competed. And I'm so proud of these guys for this.
20 wins now for Bucky. The 7th time they've reached that mark under Greg Gard. They'll host Illinois Tuesday night.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
At Metro Ford of Madison, we're making it easier than ever to find the Ford of your dreams. Check out this month's unbeatable offers, like the 2024 Ford F-150 with 3.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $60.86 cost per thousand. Or drive off in the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $15.97 cost per thousand. Hurry, these offers end February 28th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison today or visit MetroFordofMadison.com.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live in the Everlight Solar Studio. Molly Brown out with me. Jim, I'll let you with you. And you can get into the show, answer our Signing Unlimited poll question. Is this the best team that Greg Gard has coached? Is this the best team since the Badgers went to the 14-15 national championship game? 844-770-3776. That's the Carl was talking text line. List is more. We're asking the same question, basically. This also, Greg Gard took over halfway through the following season, and so Greg Gard's run would have then started the 16-17 season, which would be my vote for the best team that Greg Gard has coached on his own. Alex G with you. Couple quick things I want to get into. LeBron James just bodied Doug Gottlieb on social media.
No.
Wait, hold on.
How is Doug Gottlieb getting in LeBron?
So Doug Gottlieb, college basketball report from yesterday. Doug Gottlieb and Green Bay have not won a basketball game in 3 months. The Phoenix are currently 2-24.
Hold on. They did win a game yesterday.
Okay, so LeBron James
Let's go.
retweeted
Let's
this.
go.
LeBron
Let's
James
go.
retweeted this 5 hours ago. Earned to, not given, which is, I think, a Doug Gottlieb ism. Got to give him credit, though, with a bunch of laughing and then poop emojis. So, Doug Gottlieb is not a likable. He's not someone you want to root for.
No, it's weird. Like I like to root for UWGB because I remember the year I was in high school. I don't remember the actual year. It was 2016, 15, 16, something like that. And they made the tournament, and I was gassed for them. I was like, let's go. Another Wisconsin team showing up, showing out. Go. And they're just awful. They're so bad, and he has no head coaching experience, and he just shows up, gets this program. What are we doing?
I don't know, man. It's fun to laugh at Doug Gottlieb being
Jim, could you also coach a college basketball team while hosting this radio show? In the when you're free.
Look, how could I get 3 wins? I feel like possibly. I mean, how hard is it?
Can we get Jim?
Can I go coach Madison College?
Yeah,
I feel like I could string together. I thought I was gonna be a coach. I took a lot of basketball. I coached multiple 6th, 7th, 8th grade kids to some high level basketball.
Let's go.
Yeah. Ran the triangle offense. Here's the thing: when you coach little kids, just full court press. Other kids
make a bad pass.
Other kids can't handle it. Done. Easy.
I believe that. It's like watching high school, or not high school, but like kids soccer. It's just like if you have one kid who's willing to stand away from the rest of them, it's game over because it's pretty much just clump ball. Everyone clumps around the ball and chases each other around.
Kevin in Lodi chimes in. The 2015 beat a 33-0 Kentucky team that was mostly NBA players, which is why I believe that makes that team better. Yeah, we're not disputing. We're saying since then. I will just quickly, I think we have another text coming through. That team, that 14-15 team, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Nigel Hayes, Bronson Koenig, Josh Gasser, Douye Dukin, Trayvon Jackson, Zach Showalter, Vito Brown. That's like the rotation there. Get out of here. That team, amazing.
It's pretty good.
And that goes, oh, by the way, that 16-17 featured Vito Brown and Showalter and Bronson Koenig, all members of the team that went to the national championship game, all key members of the 16-17 Badgers. So
what
that championship
what a time to be a fan of the Badgers. Like, let's just from 2013 until 2018, both football and basketball were just exciting. Aside from that one 2017-18 year, the year that I was starting to come back to my roots as I transferred from Ball State to Wisconsin. It was a tough time for that. But outside of that, it was great.
Me and Gabe Neitzel had to sit out here and defend Bo Ryan from he only gets to the Sweet 16. That was the defense. We had to go on the air like, are you people insane? He's a basketball Hall of Famer. Gabe and I used to be on that train all the time. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. This is more.
And speaking of fans who still want the good old days of Badgers sports, we have a text in on the talking text line from G's girlfriend, Alfie, actually.
Yo.
I think after a season like last year, a team needs more than 1 year to reach excellence. Yes, there are flashes of what fans are so desperate to see, and they feel they are capable of because of what it was in 14-15. But 1 year and 123 star just isn't the great comeback that emotionally people want it to be. Not yet. Those things are built over years, not months. It's hard to be patient when we want to believe, especially after the heartbreak that football has given Badgers fan. Gee, I believe Alfie is also an Ohio State fan?
Ohio State football, because that's where she went, and she lives right next to Cameron Indoor, so she's a Duke basketball fan. She's never experienced a bad team.
Yeah, I'll say she's blessed as a fan. I'll tell you that.
How incredibly unlikable as a sports fan.
But she's the best.
No,
But
as
yeah,
a person, I'm sure she's great, but as a sports fan, despicable.
About as toxic as it gets for Wisconsin.
Prime hates her.
As a sports fan. In the office, I hate her. Outside of the office, me and her are totally good.
All right. Also this weekend, SNL had their 50th anniversary. The music thing was on Peacock. I really am not. I can't handle Peacock, so I'm just not. I don't have it. I didn't watch it. I just saw the clips of it.
Speaking of Peacock, though, what can you see on Peacock tonight at 8 p.m.?
Matt Hamilton.
Matt Hamilton and Becca Hamilton.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Scraw.
What?
It's a Peacock sound.
Do it again.
Scraw.
Now I don't like Peacock anymore. All right,
it's $5. It's for your friend Matt.
No, I wanted to promote Matt's mixed doubles curling national championship event tonight, but no, I can't. After scroll, I no.
100%.
You ruined it.
So,
go watch him.
Nobody's
the
gonna
music
watch
is
now.
on there. The SNL, the 50 music was on there. Cher at 78 years old was ridiculous. I mean, it's a compliment. She looked like she was like 60. She was 78 years old. I think Kevin Costner fell in love with her at the said event. If you watch the clips, you see Kevin Costner being like, oh, my God, how is she 78 years old? Post-Nirvana, with Post Malone performing with Nirvana was pretty amazing.
I understand that it's cool, and I like, but I don't like Post Malone, and his voice didn't resonate with me the way that I know it resonated with you.
Yep.
But I didn't watch it live. I just watched the post, so maybe that's part of it.
There's a lot of feels and nostalgia in it, but there was a bunch of other cuts. But then also there was the SNL 50 last night. They did a bunch of skits. So it got me thinking. I wanted to ask this secondary question, side unlimited poll question, 844-770-3776 on the Carl was Talking text line. I don't want your favorite actor or any of that. Like, don't give me Will Ferrell. Who was your favorite character on SNL? 844-770-3076 on the Carl was Talking text line. Our siding unlimited poll question, the secondary one. Who was your favorite character on SNL?
The NPR girls from the holiday special with Pete Schweddy.
Yeah, Pete Schweddy and Pete Schweddy's balls. Yes.
Oh man, it doesn't get better than that.
They were, and that was one of those where it was very important that they kept a straight face, and they did.
Nailed it.
And they nailed the NPR style format for the whole thing as well. That one was great. There was obviously like Wayne's World. That was kind of early in my watching, and Wayne and Garth going on to obviously have the movie and everything like that. Stefan from Bill Hader.
Which, if you were listening to Wilde and Tausch this morning, they went through the top rated of all time. Stefan, #1 on Billboard, I think.
Stefan was great, and he would always break because John Mulaney was the writer at the time, the lead writer, or he would write the Stefan character with Bill Hader. And during the SNL actual performance, he would switch the cue cards, and so there'd be like one cue card where Bill Hader was not expecting what John Mulaney had written down, and then Bill would read it real time for the first time and then laugh because they were insane. So though, like, Stefan was pretty great. Bill Hader also had another one where he was, I think he did a few of them where he was a puppet. Like he basically taught like the art of puppetry and. Or no, he didn't teach it. He would go to these classes and he played this like weird, like Vietnam vet who would always make these characters too intense. And it was like a 2 or 3 run where he'd go there and just have horrendously graphic war story backstories and everyone else's. So like Bill Hader was pretty great on that. So both those characters were pretty awesome. Probably before we go to break, do you have a favorite?
I was gonna say Stefan. Spicy, my guy.
Spicy.
Honestly, my favorite segment of SNL was always just Weekend Update. I think.
Yes.
I mean, that's everybody's.
Yeah.
But Stefan was like the all-time heat check. Bring him in on Weekend Update, and Colin Jost and Michael Che, and also I'm blanking on his name, but they brought him in for last night's Weekend Update. The all-timer.
Seth Meyers.
When I think of Weekend Update, Seth Meyers is the guy I think of. I mean, I think he did it for like 8 years, I want to say.
Crushed it.
And he was kind of like, you and I, kind of formative years if we were watching SNL. It was Seth Meyers on that. And 100%. I remember Stefan and him breaking character, both of them breaking character at any little thing. Bill Hader, I know we're talking about specific characters we like. Bill Hader on SNL and also Jason Sudeikis. Those are the two guys I like the most.
There were some.
Will Forte too.
I grew up with it would have been Dennis Miller and Norm Macdonald as like my two Weekend Update guys. But 844-770-3776. Also, do not sleep on Tina and Amy.
No,
they
absolutely
were fantastic.
Not.
They didn't have a long run, but they were pretty great to the point where like they now team up on so many things because they were such a great duo together.
That segment last night where they just like threw out questions to the audience, the famous celebrity audience members, and just calling on them, being like, "This isn't a pre-written question that we're asking you just now." Like that whole thing was. I think of last night's SNL 50, that was probably my second or third favorite thing.
What did you think of the Ryan Reynolds? Why? What have you heard?
Well, that was hilarious.
Because they asked him, how's everything going? He goes, good. Why? What have you heard?
Ryan Reynolds is fantastic.
Yes.
He's all the actors they had there too, like the non-SNL alumni too. Like it was a great cast.
So the real moment that's going around right now, social media wise, is Kevin Costner. You can see him peeking around someone who's in front of him to see Blake Lively's reaction during the whole thing. Because I think that's what most people were doing. Is Ryan Reynolds is doing this little bit. Blake is sitting there, and everyone wants to see how is Blake going to react to the joke. How is everything going to go down? What is her mindset with her whole thing going on? But it's funny because basically everyone's like, Kevin Costner is everyone, because he gets caught like leaning back to like look around to see exactly how Blake is reacting to all that. We'll talk more SNL on the other side. Chime in with your favorite SNL character, and we'll switch it up a little bit. Talk some Green Bay Packers football. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by Lead Her Forward, ESPN Wisconsin's celebration of National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. Stay tuned to catch the special program hosted by ESPN's Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman all month long on 100.5 ESPN. Moving on up in the world, the Wisconsin Badgers basketball team edging the top 10 today as they now rise up to number 11 in today's AP poll. That's after they took down number 7 Purdue at Mackey Arena on Saturday, winning 94-84. John Tonje scoring a game-high 32 points, including 22 in the second half. He was named last week's Big Ten Men's Basketball Player of the Week, as well as the Naismith Trophy Player of the Week. That was his third time and first time winning those awards respectively this season. Badgers will be back at it tomorrow night at the Kohl Center as they host their border rivals Illinois. It's tipping off at 7:30. Also stay tuned here to ESPN Wisconsin for some big news regarding a future Badgers basketball guest on the jump around. Then switching over to the Packers, Green Bay, Rob Domofsky, reporter for ESPN, listing from Jair Alexander which free agents the Packers may keep or let go.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I'm going to match your energy, and if you're going to bring false titles, I'll bring false titles.
They're not false. Your 6 are real. My 4 are real.
But they're old as hell.
Amen. Because I'm here for whatever. Do they still give out Oreos at dry cleaners?
What?
Huh? Is that not a thing?
Wait, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Your family never told you don't take candy from strangers.
I wasn't going in alone. I was 4. I don't know. I don't know why this is a big deal.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge, and to quote Elfie, quoting me, people like me.
Hey,
people like me. My daughters like to cringe when I say that to them if they get mad at me. I go, people like me.
Oh, so they haven't stolen it yet?
No, they will tease me with it. Because like they'll be like, oh, why'd you have to go to the game? Why'd you have to go do this? They're like, people like me. People like me. And my youngest, she likes that. My oldest rolls her eyes. My oldest is going to turn 12 here in May. My youngest is 8, just turned 8. So the difference there in how much they're willing to take the dad jokes.
Right.
Alex G, Jim Rutledge with you. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. We are asking you, who is your favorite SNL character? You can chime in on that 844-770-3776. Did get a text from someone saying they're snowmobiling today. Gosh, good for them.
Well,
our
that's
friend
the
Tyler
thing.
from Simon Chevy.
Got it. When it's cold out, though, that's when you have to do these winter activities like ice skating, skiing and things. It's not quite to the point where it's too cold. We were going to go skiing, Elfie and I, the other day.
It's too cold today.
Listen, man, you just don't have enough scarves on. Yeah. Scarf up the neck, around the head. Like Elfie, people like her, and she's taught me how to dress more appropriately, because I used to just be like, I'm cold and miserable in this Wisconsin, but I'm Wisconsinite. I'm tough, dang it. And now I'm like, if you have like double layered mittens, your hands don't get cold.
Alex G, Chrissy Birdsall as well in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
So we're also asking you, is this Badger basketball team the best Badger basketball team since they went to the national championship game in the 14-15 season? 844-770-3776. You can chime in on that on the Carlos Talking text line. Less is more. That is our Siding Unlimited poll question. And right now, 63% of you say yes. And I would just say it's a slap in the face to the 16-17 Badgers who won 27 games, finished second in the Big Ten. Could this team get there? Sure. But right now, I am not betting against it because I want it to happen. I'm just not going to get my over my skis about it.
Okay, so the Badgers have a shot to play against Michigan State yet. And then there's a very real chance that they overtake them should they win that game. And they could finish with fewer losses in the regular season, second in the Big Ten, and then you're in the postseason, and that's when anything can happen.
Still got to get to the Sweet 16, but sure.
If they make it to the Sweet 16, will you admit that this was at least as good as that team?
I'll say they're better then. That's fine.
Okay.
If they do what you just said, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right.
I'm not saying they can't get there. I'm just saying there's no reason for the last, God knows how long. Was this the last time, 16-17, the Badgers were in the Sweet 16?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to believe they're going to get there right now.
That's fair. The thing is, the team is that over the last few years, like you said, specifically those Brad Davidson years, the team wasn't that good. They might have had a leader on the team, but Chucky Hepburn was the leader of the team, and when he was cold, he'd get in his head. He wasn't a consistent presence, and now the team is deeper. You have guys coming off the bench who are capable players. I'm not saying that they're excellent, but even Kamari McGee, Carter Gilmore, all these guys, they have moments, and then you have Tanjay and Blackwell and even Klesman, like they're scoring in a variety of ways and picking each other up a little bit more. I mean, Tanjay obviously the face of the program right now, but there's a reason for upward trajectory as a whole.
And I'm sorry, what do you do outside? You get all bundled up that you'd want to go outside in this cold weather?
Ice skating, big one. Elfie bought me some ice skates. They're too small. I never have been a big ice skater because I can never find skates that fit my size 15 feet.
Yeah.
But we got some 14s. It's just a little bit of pain, but it's okay.
That's ice skates are uncomfortable to begin with.
I know.
I usually size up for ice skates.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
They're breaking in now. The other things that I'll do, skiing is really fun, and when you get going on a cold day, fewer people out because the hill in Wisconsin, let's be honest, is far. Nice one, Ryan.
It's blue.
The mountains are more blue in my opinion because there's no one out there, so it's kind of fun.
It is -12 currently.
Wind chill.
Is it really?
A wind chill.
Wind
Feels
chill.
Like. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. They honestly should just show what the actual when it says it feels like it's -12, that's what it is then. Because if it feels like it's -12, it's kind of like the old saying, you don't get to decide if you're being the a-hole. Same thing. If the weather is -12, if it feels like it's -12, it's -12.
Is it the same in the summer, Mr.
Yes.
Florida Jim? Okay.
Yeah. If it feels like it's 105, it's 105.
I don't give Jim credit for being right very often. He's right about this. He's definitely correct. That's what the weather should be.
Or at least have that be the larger number, maybe, because they always have the it's 1 degree, but it feels like -12. Tell us it's -12.
Because sometimes the wind can make a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
big weather. I got a whole other thing on this. So,
are we going to weather?
Well, just because why are we not giving the real feel? You mean the temperature? I get it.
It says real in the name.
I know, but they do this thing and I get they're scientists. It's like scientifically, it's only -1.
Rub it.
But if it feels like it's -33, then it's -33 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, it's fair. Listen, I don't have a strong opinion on this, and I've heard this take before. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Like, at a certain point, I think the tiers. I'm always a fan of tiers, but like, you have until 25. That like 45 to 25 is like, okay, it's just cold out. It kind of stinks, and then from 25 to 10, it's like, all right, that's cold.
Yeah.
Anything below that is like, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Right. And so. I've never really paid close attention. If it says a single digit or a negative, I'm like, okay, well, I'm in danger, and if I'm going to do something, I have to do it safely.
So Jeremiah Madison says, just got done walking the dog 5 miles. Had his hunting suit on. Good for him.
Dog.
Is your dog happy about that? I don't think my dog wants to walk 5 miles.
Do you have a dog sweater? Like our jacket?
I don't, but my wife has purchased one that she makes me put on the dog. If she sees me take the dog out.
How big is your dog?
She's 70 pounds.
Okay, no, that's a big dog.
Yeah, she's a mix of like a muscular dog.
Because I think of it, so probably shorter hair then too. You can kind of see that. Like those big dogs I'm a little less worried about. But the like little yappers, you like boots on that bad boy, put a blanket on it, like that needs the help.
I'll buy boots more than because like at times the salt can bother them. So I'll buy the boots on that because I had a Walker Hound, which is more of a southern breed of a dog, and he did not handle the salt well, and it would tear up his paws.
So I went on a walk across the lake the other day, and we got out to it, and there was a bunch of people with their dogs out there with no boots on. And at first I was like, oh, that's fine. But the more I think about it, and I'm sure other people know a lot more than me. I'm not a dog owner. I've had dogs in my life, but like I have not in a long time, and I've never taken a dog out on the ice. But doesn't that have to hurt? Like, it's so cold. I would not want to be out there barefoot.
No, it's fair. Our Jeremiah chimed back in that she's a 5-month-old lab. So you get a puppy and the lab. Yeah, you get it.
And dogs love playing in the snow too. It's like that. It brings me unbridled joy to just watch a dog like romp around. It's just more fun.
Dog.
Yes, my dog is pushing 8 now, and she had 1 ACL surgery, and I'm worried she might have another injury. So. Oof. We're taking it a little easy on the walks for her.
She playing O-line for the Bears?
Right, I know. We've already made the decision that with this ACL, she's just going to...
What's her draft stock look like?
Not good. Got a couple ACLs. We should have done what the Badgers do on the O-line, make her wear knee braces all the time. Apparently, pit bulls, this is a problem for them.
Oh, no.
And so, she's got a limp on the other. And we're not going to get another ACL surgery because now she's like 8. And like surgeries are a big deal for a dog.
Yeah.
But now she's going to have to be like on painkillers forever, like for arthritis. And it's all
no.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe it's just like she did slip when I walked the other day, and hopefully maybe it's just like a tweak or something and not anything serious. But yeah, probably have to go to.
Oh, God. She's like Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
You got to worry about her so bad.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God. What's she going to do? Is this PCL? What kind of. You should get a play tomorrow.
I'm sorry, make a decision. We're probably gonna have to.
We've released.
I can't take her out when I take her for a walk. I'm gonna have to take her out through the backyard now because she can't up the steps.
She's gonna have to go play
for a little too intense
for a lesser team.
Yeah, so
with more cap space.
She's on the IR, and it could just be a retirement. I don't know what that means exactly, but yes, for an athlete purposes, she's about cooked.
Do you think Jair and Aaron Rodgers could end up on the same team? I didn't think about that until just now. That would be
expensive.
Well, yeah, but how much is Aaron Rodgers actually going to get? I don't know if you talked about this last week, but it's the price for Aaron Rodgers can't be more than it was for Kirk Cousins last year.
No, and that's let's get to Aaron Rodgers on the other side. Courtney Cronin had an idea about what he could be doing. You also could chime in of like, I guess, and this is what I was going to get to, Alex, of like, I wouldn't ice skate at this level, but if you love skiing, I would get going out skiing in this weather.
Yeah.
Like the girls are not sledding. We took them out yesterday. Like my wife's like, it's too cold for little kids to be outside. So our kind of general rule is like when you get below freezing, you got to start watching the time, and below 0, Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
I think that's really fair for most people.
For little kids. But again, like if you're doing the skiing, there's certain things you love to do. Like I said, Tyler's out there snowmobiling. Then yeah, you can bundle up, and especially now, there was a bartender at Vintage was telling me that he Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning he was up in Michigan snowboarding.
Right, and those things are active enough that your core temperature is raising up. You're
absolutely.
fine, like the circulations. The only thing that really stinks for me in all of those situations is the bits of skin on my face that are revealed. Those, awful.
All right, so you can chime in on what you would be willing to do in this cold weather. You also can make a trip over to Chalmers Jewelers. Maybe you forgot Valentine's Day and you're in the dog house, and you can go to go to Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton or in Madison to get out of the dog house, and you get your significant other earrings, watch, bracelet, custom jewelry, fix up old broken jewelry. You can also make some awesome custom jewelry from a bunch of stuff maybe you've inherited, and you bring it over there and they can melt it down and make something that would honor the person who gave it to you. All available at Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom and Madison's local jeweler. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Dog. You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Heart-shaped pizzas from Pizza Hut are waiting for you. This isn't just dinner, it's a love story, told in cheese, sauce, and a perfectly shaped crust. Only here for a limited time, the heart-shaped pizzas are the perfect way to say I love you without saying a word. Starting at just $13.99, it's cheaper than flowers and way more delicious. Order yours today at pizzahut.com before they're gone. Pizza Hut, love at first slice. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Dog.
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 It's not friend of the show. Hopefully friend of the show, Zach Bond.
Dog.
Yeah? Dog.
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 We got to get friend of the show, Chris Orr, to join. He is now the linebackers coach for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's crazy.
That is truly awesome.
I had to double check. I'm like, is this really?
That's such a fast promotion. I mean,
where was he at? Jacksonville State?
He was at Jackson State
Jackson
University,
State,
the university, the HBCU that Deion Sanders was previously at before going to Colorado.
Okay.
Actually just won the HBCU National Championship last year. There we go, Chris.
Yes.
And now he's one of the dogs for the Kansas City Chiefs, right, Jim?
Chiefs win.
Returning AFC champs.
And Leo Chanel knows him. He was pretty jazzed about it, too. So that's good.
Yeah, the return of Death Row in Kansas City. That's going to be Death Row, the linebacker core for the Badgers. Yeah,
Was
that's pretty awesome.
because Sanborn, I think, is technically a restricted free agent, so I don't know if maybe he'd make his way down to Kansas City. I don't know how many linebackers they need, but was he part of that death row?
I mean, I think Death Row is a name that I think Leo Chanel was actually on our show when it was still Rutledge and Hamilton around this time last year after the Chiefs did win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs win.
Not this year. But I believe he mentioned that Death Row is a thing, the nickname that they started for the Badgers off-ball linebacker group dating back to Zach Ball and Chris Orr. So, yeah, I think that it's more the lineage now. I hope they still talk about it for the Badgers, the football program. I hope that's a moniker they still carry.
I hope they do. I believe that's been referenced on the New Heights podcast, too.
Oh, it has? Yes, they did when they talked about Leo last year.
Yes. So, yeah, it's legendary. Alex G., Jim Rutledge, Primetime Will Shine, Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. And we did ask you to chime in on your favorite SNL character. We did talk a little bit before the break, Aaron Rodgers, and where does he end up? We talked about it a lot last week. And I don't see him being a backup anywhere.
No.
Let alone where Courtney Cronin has him being a backup. But we'll get that audio ready. Courtney Cronin is amazing. So I think this is just one of those things, you're asked by ESPN to create all these sort of bits of content. And she was asked to create a bit of content. And look, in theory, could Aaron Rodgers on the Bears work out really well? Yeah, but I don't love it in practice. Let's hear Courtney.
Is he finally at the point of self-actualization to realize maybe my best role is to bring on the next generation? Because he wouldn't do it with Jordan Love. What about a place like Chicago? Nobody wants to watch what we saw with the Jets the last 2 seasons, especially this year. Nobody wants to watch mid-Aaron Rodgers as a starter. I want to watch Aaron Rodgers in the quarterback room developing the next great Aaron Rodgers.
I think in theory that sounds great. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been that guy in a decade. I don't think Aaron Rodgers ever was that guy. I think as far as someone who wants to develop.
Oh, that wants to. Also, I think that's a little unfair. He was pretty good to Jordan Love. He didn't want him to take his job, which I think is totally fair. He was upset that it happened, but also
I think he was
in the room. He was helping him out.
Just a normal person about it. He wasn't extraordinary above and beyond for Jordan Love. I think he was what you'd expect out of a professional. I think he was professional and gave Jordan Love professional courtesy, which is fine. That's all he needs to do. I don't think there's a lot of QBs who, and this is there's not a lot of QBs that I can think of. Even Kirk Cousins was upset about Michael Penix, and I would imagine Kirk Cousins, who I think has a better vibe check or better,
Cole's cash,
better fit check.
But just the way people
Kirk
think
O'Chains.
about him and talk about him in the league, it's better than the way people talk about Rodgers. I would imagine that people would describe Kirk Cousins to Penix as professional. If you're a player and you can play and someone takes your backup, you're not going to go bend over backwards to be their buddy. You're going to be professional to them. That's all that I think is really asked of them. And honestly, I think it speaks a little bit to Aaron Rodgers when he got here, getting his feelings hurt that Brett Favre was, I think, after the initial get over it, he was professional to him. I think Aaron was expecting more. And I think Aaron was professional to Jordan Love, but Jordan Love now understands that, hey, if you're coming in to take someone's job, all you're asking is professional. Now, if you reverse it, what Aaron Rodgers would need to be now, if he was someone's backup, would be your cheerleader, your mentor. And I don't think anyone calling Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love mentor. I think they call it a profession. Like Aaron Rodgers was professional towards Jordan Love.
I didn't hear anything about mistreating or being rude but I've heard a lot about him, hey, this is how we do this. This is like
professionalism.
Right, but I think that there's you are more than professional in our work relationship.
Right,
you
right.
are a good friend,
Yes.
you are a good mentor. From what I hear, it sounds like there was a level of that between Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, but I think Jordan Love probably was hesitant to accept it because Aaron Rodgers is freaking crazy.
Yeah, I think we're walking a line there. I just think that, and I don't think it's I don't know if there's a situation I can think of where someone is coming to take someone's job and they're more than professional to them. Again, the mentor-mentee relationship, that's more of like someone is secure in their spot and they're willing to, like, for even in this office, my job, sales jobs, on-air stuff, it's not a zero-sum game. And so I coach, we have opportunities everywhere. I want to be friendly to yours, mentor you, coach you up, Chrissy, any of these people. It's not a zero-sum game. So one, I want to do it. People did it for me, and they were more than professional. They were mentors. They went out of the way. So I want to repeat that, and so I do that. But in a system where there's a zero-sum game, like if there was one job to host things here, and this is the only job, and you're just going to take it from me, I don't know how I'd react in that scenario. But
you'd kick me to Milwaukee like Alex Strouf got kicked.
Exactly.
No idea. Irrelevant.
No, Alex ran away to Milwaukee.
That's fair.
He could. So, like, I would say that in these situations, it's hard to like a regular workplace because a regular workplace isn't a zero-sum game. And so, with the NFL, I think Aaron Rodgers. And I mean this as a compliment, was professional to Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers now would have to go into full, even if he was full mentor role of like, I'm not playing. I'm just going to be here to be your cheerleader and hype you up and be your wingman.
844-770-3776, the Cardinals talking text line. JB from the V. Rodgers would never play for the Bears. He actually respects the rivalry and owns the Bears. Suck it, Jim. And to that I say, what are your thoughts?
So does Caleb own Jordan Love now since they're 1-1 and had 2 fourth-quarter comebacks?
Do not.
So is that how that works?
Do not equate the two, Jim. They're not even kind of the same.
How can you own someone when you have a tied record?
Well, it should have. I mean, he outperformed him in the 2 games and outperformed him in the conference.
This is the most apologetic.
Are they trending towards?
Didn't one team make the playoffs?
Are they trending towards? I'm just saying. I just think Caleb Williams is trending towards ownership.
Is tough.
Trending towards ownership. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, Caleb Williams will have a better record against Jordan Love. Well, I
then
can't say
vice versa.
Yeah, because obviously, like Aaron Rodgers kind of So like,
wait, I thought were you going to say he'll have a better record than Jordan Love will have against Caleb Williams?
Or I think he was going to say that he was going to that Caleb Williams will have a better record against the Packers than Aaron Rodgers did against the Bears. Is that where you're going?
No.
Okay.
Because again, the Bears were the problem in the Aaron Rodgers dominance over the Bears. Like, it's not like Aaron Rodgers was beating 10-win Bear teams when he was beating the Bears.
Sometimes he
Once
did.
in a while, but most of the time he was beating Bears teams that were 5 wins. They were already beating themselves. I've said this a million times. The Bears owned themselves. The Bears weren't rolling out teams that could be above 500, let alone make the playoffs or beat the Packers. So the Bears were complicit in their ownership. And so, that's factual. I mean, run through the coaches at Aaron Rodgers. He had a little bit of Lovie Smith. Brett Favre was the one that mainly faced Lovie Smith. Trestman, Fox, Matt Nagy was the highlight of the Aaron Rodgers era. Playing against the Bears.
So, Jim, what was your proclamation about Caleb Williams going to be then?
At the end of the day, he'll have a better record against the Packers than the Packers will against him. That's all. Or Jordan Love specific, if you want to make it like that. Something crazy.
So, over the course of their careers with their respective teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is going to be a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
Okay.
I don't think that's bridged too far.
I mean, he could be a better quarterback and not win as many games as Jordan Love.
Yeah, but I still think the Bears are putting together something that's respectable finally.
And the Badgers basketball team isn't.
Lucky by a billion.
That's shocking to me. How you are more confident in the Bears right now than you are in the Badgers having the best team of the last 5 or 8 years.
We're playing futures here. We're talking macro and micro. Like if we're doing like stocks, we're talking about this Badger basketball team coached by great guard who has year over year had this exact scenario and then fallen flat in the tournament. Now, again, what I'm saying is that, and we're talking about over the next 3 months. I'm talking over the next 3 years. So we're talking about a much bigger projection. If we were talking about next year, the Packers will have a better record than the Bears. That is a micro conversation. That is a different conversation. Now, and I said versus the Packers. Could Caleb split again? Could Caleb, over the next 2 years, the Packers end up being better than the Bears and the Bears split? Then all of a sudden, going forward, Caleb takes off. But again, we're talking 3 years of projection further out, not 3 months.
You're putting a lot of weight into a game with the starters getting pulled early.
I'm also putting weight into the other game where Caleb should have won it.
And but they didn't. Two fourth quarter comebacks.
Right. But also, you're putting a lot of weight into a guy who's vastly overpaid. Who I think NBC, or was it ESPN, was it Harry Douglas that said Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, 2 of the top 5 players in all of the NFL next year with the most to prove.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers does because I don't think that there's much for him to earn.
He was number 1 on the list.
Okay, sure.
I believe Jerry Jones was 2 on the list.
Yes.
That makes sense.
He went and brought in Schottenheimer.
Yeah, 100%. Jordan Love could very well end up being the most overpaid player in the NFL, but I don't...
Right there with Rashawn Gary.
Actually, very true. Which, again, leads me to believe that Brian Gutekunst is the worst of the big 3 at their job. I digress.
All right, now you're pulling stuff from shows we did a few weeks ago. But we'll come back, we'll throw some stones, and apparently we're going to do some crosstalk later in the show as well. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s is Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. College? You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree, and you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Our expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. If something ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. Oh my gosh, why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
He's coming up, 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 he's coming up. It's there.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Alex G with me, Chrissy Birdsall as well. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. So we have crosstalk coming up. Now, my understanding is Chrissy is running Great Dane Huddle for the first time tonight. Is that right?
Chrissy, go ahead.
That is correct.
She also, I hate to speak when spoken to. She's been cleared for sports centers.
Well, you can just ask her then, like you're asking Ryan
I know.
on her behalf.
But, it's actually fun. It's a fun little game because,
really is. You have to outsource it across the glass, back to the glass for me.
So
to tell
behind
Chrissy
the glass, and it's one of the weirdest phrasing for the rule here. And it was a rule when I was coming up in on-air stuff as well. It's not one that I created. But it's like the idea of speak when spoken to, which is so, I don't know. I hate it.
It's very medieval.
It really is. Or 1950s, I am a dad. You show me some respect. You speak when spoken to.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
It's Jesse Nelson, tidy whitey's hall monitor all over it, it's bureaucracy at a certain point.
It's been around forever, but I'll give Jesse crap for not coming up with a better name for it. But anyways, Chrissy, you're being spoken to. You can assume you're being spoken to for the rest of this segment here. So you have an open mic, but you are. So it's Jesse Nelson. I wish Jesse had to speak when spoken to.
I know Jason Wilde feels the same way.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Jason and Mark could implement that back for Wilde and Tausch.
Lay down the law.
Unless I say your name. I don't want to hear the words that come out of your mouth.
Seen but not heard.
Right, there you go. Like that.
You can make the VMix about you. You are relegated. You are now a YouTube dweller. That's what they call their YouTube fans.
Yeah.
You can comment on the YouTube page whenever you want.
All right, let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, we started the show talking a little bit about the NBA All-Star Game and why the All-Star Weekend flopped, unfortunately. And I know, G, you watched the All-Star Games tournament.
Mostly played Pokemon on my phone, and I'm not proud of that. But
that's a good move, because I believe LeBron was not interested in participating in the game either, and neither did Giannis. Even though both of them were at the All-Star Weekend, it seemed like a lot of players didn't have a ton of juice for this game. So Giannis was actually asked post-game if he thought there was something that could help juice up the All-Star Game going forward. Here's what he said.
I think that would be the most interesting and most exciting format. I would love that, and for sure, I'll take pride to that. I always compete, but I think that will give me a little bit more extra juice to compete. Having Shea, Jokic, Luka, Wemby, Towns, Shagun, having all those players playing with you. And obviously, I'm missing some guys right now. I cannot think from the top of my head. Going against the best USA players, I think it'll be fun. I think that will be the best format.
So that's Giannis co-signing the idea of having essentially the Team USA versus Team World format for the NBA All-Star Game going forward. So, like you said, it'd be him, Karl Anthony Towns, all the good Canadian players, all the great European players like Luka and Jokic, the African-born players as well, like Joel Embiid. Guys, what do you think about this? Would this actually add spice to the All-Star Game? Would players maybe have a little more reason to participate a little harder? Jim, what do you think?
I think you put a trophy into it as well. Maybe a medal, something like that. Like, create something that gets the competitive
It's
juices
got to be a
flowing.
globe, right?
Right. Some bragging. Maybe there's something you can do bragging rights wise. I don't know exactly what it is. Something that hits the pride a little bit. Cash always helps.
Yeah.
But I think that, look, there's sponsors who are willing to throw in cars or whatever to the winner. You know, you could do something to make it a little bit more enticing. But I like the format. We have enough. Honestly, the concern in America is going to get smoked in this. But, like, in general, we have enough now players that you could put together this sort of roster and have some fun with it. So I am very pro. I'm pro this.
I thought that was going to be the case too, and I'm kind of pro it. I got to be honest. I think the thing that makes the most sense is this, like, old v young rising stars thing. Like, the rising stars were not as good, right? But if we maybe make that cutoff a little bit higher, right? The guys who make the All-Stars but are under 25 get involved in that, and then suddenly they bring the heat, right? These guys who, genuinely don't belong on the same court as Steph, as LeBron, as, Giannis, whatever it is. They brought heat, and they were trying their hardest. They were playing real defense. They were out there saying, like, this is my golden moment. I get to shine. And yeah, they did some dumb stuff too. It's a highlight contest, but that made it interesting. And then all of a sudden, it's a close game in that first round. And so the pros are like, okay, we got to lock down. We can't let these no names come in here and beat us. And so it was a good game. And then suddenly in the next round, when it was the all-world team versus the all-stars, the old heads, the OGs, whatever it was called.
OGs.
Yeah, Shaq's OGs. Then Shaq's OGs dominated despite being the worst team, right? The all-world team had the bigger stars. They have the more talented players. They have the guys who keep winning championships. But it didn't matter because they were not as ready. They weren't as hyped. They weren't whatever it was. I would like to see more of the young energy coming in there because they have something to prove. They brought out the best of the All-Stars.
Chrissy, you can go ahead. I said she had an open mic here.
I think just a lot of people are starting to take after what we saw at the Four Nations this last weekend. Between that, the World Baseball Classic a few years ago, the Olympics has been so big now in the last couple of years. The international format works. And now they need to do something maybe with the international team instead of doing USA versus those other guys. They have to have some kind of flag, some representation. But national pride is such a big thing. We're seeing it in so many sports right now that I think that's the best way they do it. They take a page out of some of these other sports and they just go for it.
So going off of what Chrissy just said then, if it's not going to be one team world, if there's enough players internationally to maybe split up two teams, like, could they do like Team Canada and then Team Europe and Africa?
I think so.
Maybe. Or maybe Team Europe and then Team Canada and Africa doesn't seem to make a ton of sense.
By time zones.
Yeah, by hemispheres. I don't know.
I don't know exactly. I get what you're saying. I think that's possible. I think you can get there. I just think you have to do something to manufacture people to care about it. That's what I think.
Right, and so maybe if like the teams are playing for, they're going to donate either $20 million or something like that to charities that the U.S.-born players can choose, or to the programs that develop players in other countries.
Ooh.
Like, that could be really good. Because then these guys, like Giannis, is going to go out there and be like, okay, I can provide for my country, my community, the people who are in the space that I was years ago. Suddenly you have something to play for, and these other guys would be like, all right, I can play for this charity. I can go out and win for cancer research. I think that could do something.
That's a lot of stakes.
Well, I know it feels weird, but like that way there's buy-in.
Kids can't eat, you lose.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that. Like,
let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, LeBron's out there.
just for the basketball, just basketball developing. That's what I mean.
Steph oops it to LeBron. Some kids in Canada.
Please
don't get any maple syrup that night.
Please make your dunk so I can have another bit of porridge.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I like the essence and the idea of having a charitable aspect, but you have to, you can't make it that.
I'm not saying that,
heavy.
oh gosh.
Here's
I'm not saying they're not going to donate
the countries that lose, they don't get to learn to read.
Yeah, see, yeah. This gets very squirrely very fast, guys. America has enough.
Honestly, these all sound like
marks.
executive orders, to be honest.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, this is getting a little much.
So, friendly reminder, at the age of 40, on one leg, Jordan played all 82 games, started the All-Star game, would have his knee drained after every single game.
That's nuts. What? Okay, at a certain point,
So, like, that-
too much. But
that was
Michael.
when the All-Star game mattered, though. Like, he played in the All-Star game.
I love it, but also there is a line, and you have I don't have a problem with Giannis sitting out because he was injured. Okay, don't do it. Don't put your team at risk for the rest of the season. That's for sure.
Not everyone can be Jordan. Not everyone can be a winner. Oh, wait, yeah, everyone can be a winner. You go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, that's where winners go. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and win millions of dollars every single weekend. That's where winners go. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, highest payouts in the area. So go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and be a winner. Speaking of winners, we're doing the opposite. We're talking to Jesse Nelson next. Oh, man.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gavel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone, up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard, so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day. All month long, celebrate with ESPN Wisconsin's special program, Lead Her Forward, hosted by Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman, presented by Love Madison Volleyball. Celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports Day on ESPN Madison and Wisconsin On Demand.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Oh yeah. Round and round, round they go. I get around. Still clown with the underground when we come around. Round and round, round they go. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Alex G, Jim Rutledge with you. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio with Primetime Wollersheim. And out at the Great Dane is Jesse Nelson. I'm all confused because usually Alex G is doing the Great Dane huddle.
I know,
but
it's weird to be on this side.
Jesse Nelson and John Adias at the Hilldale Great Dane.
Oh, that's a good
How
one.
we doing, fellas?
I just want to clarify, Jim. Am I being spoken to right now, or should I remain quiet for this portion of the show?
Please comment on the YouTube.
My general philosophy on the speak when spoken to is more of like, you can participate in the conversation, just don't initiate the conversation.
Okay.
Maybe we should change it to participate, not initiate, instead of speak when spoken to.
What did I miss?
Hey, John.
John Adias cleared to speak without being spoken to?
John can say anything he wants, whatever he wants. Yes,
within FCC guidelines.
So, John,
untamable.
Quick, what kind of a general policy here as you're learning your way onto the air here at Good Karma Brands, including, this is pre-Jesse, because when I was working my way up, the policy is as you work your way in and you're cleared to be on air, it is more of a speak when spoken to, like, hey, don't just hop in. Like, it's a way to help you feel out where your timing should be on a show, and then over time you just earn the right to have an open mic. It does seem a bit like 1950s sort of like children should be kept in quiet, children shouldn't speak at dinner sort of thing.
Yes.
So I said maybe just change to like, hey, you can participate but not initiate a conversation.
Ooh,
a little nicer.
I like it because it kind of rhymed. Like, yeah, that's well done. That
Participate, not initiate. Yeah. I have a couple of things I wanted to bring up with you, Jim, that just as I heard on the way over. First of all, your weather take, fantastic. The feels like temperature should be the actual temperature.
Yes.
Fair.
Yep, makes perfect sense. The Bears own themselves. I have a couple of questions about.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they stink. It's not, again, it goes back to Aaron Rodgers. Like, if you're beaten up if you're beating a dog with no legs in a race, how special of a win is it?
You should win.
Yeah. That's my point.
So you're, as a Chicago Bears fan, you're taking solace in the Packers dominating the rivalry for the last 30 years by saying, well, it's really our fault,
No,
not
I'm not
them
taking
being
solace
good.
in it. I'm just saying we've owned ourselves as much as more than Aaron Rodgers has owned us. Because you know who's owned us? The Vikings, the Lions, every good football team out there. The Bears are well below 500 against everyone.
That's a sneaky thing what Jim just did. He just like took his ownership back by just saying we just suck so bad, like we own ourselves. Like then nobody can ever own anybody, right? Because if you're dominant against another team, that team is bad. Right?
So especially the Bears, because in this case, like if you look at it, like some of the longest streaks in the NFL for teams over another team are teams against the Bears. So, like, it's not just a Green Bay thing. And so, yes, in this specific case, the Bears are stinky. And so, like, Aaron Rodgers is not special.
I love how you can take dominance against your team and, like, take the credit away from the team that beat you. Like, you're taking all the credit of them dominating and being like, it's not you.
Their floor was too high to ever lose to my crummy franchise.
Right?
You don't get any credit for beating us.
You're not like us.
Yeah.
I was born into this. We stink.
You guys know I'm a big rap guy. This is like that final scene in 8 Mile where Eminem says all the bad things about himself.
Right, exactly.
It's like, there's nothing left for the Packers fans to say now. You took it all.
Yeah. Packers have nice quarterbacks. They have Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Packers have fan ownership. Packers have the functional franchise.
And he lives in a trailer.
Bears fans live in a trailer. And we've had 72 quarterbacks and 42 coaches.
Dog. Very
I've
economic.
been a better owner of the Packers than the Bears' ownership has been of the Bears.
I'm sorry, what?
I've been a better owner of the Packers as a shareholder than the Bears' ownership has been of the Bears.
I don't feel comfortable slandering Virginia McCaskey just when she just died.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
so McCaskey, here's my take on the McCaskey family for having this. It's honestly
we're out of show. Too bad.
It's complimentary. It's not ripping her. It's very much like Herb Cole, who I think Herb Cole is a Wisconsin legend. Herb Cole was a was a good owner in the idea that he wanted the team to be good. He just didn't know who to hire to make the team good consistently. It's the same thing with the House McCaskey family. They're not out there being cheap or in the way or problems. They just don't know what they're doing, which is more forgivable for me as a fan. They maybe have hopefully blind lucked their way into something good.
Chrissy, what do you think?
She's too far away from the mic.
She's gone, Jesse. Get off the mic.
All right, this has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Tuesday night.